Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the round of 16 draw for the 2024-25 UEFA Champions League. Great to see so many club representatives here with us today in Nyon. Today's draw will be the final one of the season and complete the seeded bracket, setting the wheels in motion for the remaining knockout rounds as we get ever closer to this year's big final in Munich. While the top 8 ranked clubs from the league phase qualified automatically for the round of 16, clubs ranked 9 to 24 locked horns in a thrilling playoffs to join them. With 6 of the 8 ties heading into this week's second leg separated by just 1 goal, you can imagine the action and emotion were at fever pitch across Europe. The round was unkind to Italian sides as all 3 were eliminated at the hands of Club Brugge, Feyenoord and PSV Eindhoven. This means we'll have 2 Dutch teams in the round of 16 for the first time in 19 years. And for Bruges, they are history makers as the first Belgian team to win a knockout phase tie in the UEFA Champions League era. So congratulations to them. There was drama in Munich where Bayern needed a last-second goal to overcome Celtic, while competition stalwarts Benfica, Paris Saint-Germain and Dortmund also progressed. And the heavyweight matchup between giants Manchester City and Real Madrid saw Los Blancos take care of business thanks to a second-leg hat-trick from Kylian Mbappé. Now that the dust has settled from the playoffs, let's take a closer look at the final 16 contenders in this season's UEFA Champions League. Some great action there. More to come for sure as we start to get excited for the next round. But who will take on who? That's what we're about to find out very shortly. Time to invite on stage the man who will preside over today's draw. You know who it is. UEFA Deputy General Secretary Giorgio Marchetti. Welcome, Giorgio.
Thank you, Pedro.
Good to see you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we turn the page to the final act of a historic season that has opened the new chapter in the book of European club football. From the excitement of the league phase to the drama of the knockout round playoffs, like all fans, we have been encompassed by a circle of new emotions. Now, as the 16 remaining clubs get closer to this year's final, we anticipate even more emotions. Today's draw, the last of the season, by the way, will determine the road that awaits all teams who dream to be at the Bavarian appointment on the 31st of May. 8 national associations are still represented at this point in a draw featuring a mix of past champions and those eager to lift this prestigious silverware for the very first time. The months ahead of us will be filled with passion, with drama again, and extraordinary football. The stage will be set in a few minutes, then let's enjoy our journey. And to pave the way of a journey taking us to Munich, there is no one better than a Bayern Munich icon who held the UEFA Champions League trophy high above his head.
Please welcome a Bayern goal machine, Giovanni Elber. Welcome, bem-vindo.
Obrigado.
If you can take the position here to my left, thank you. New format, as Giorgio mentioned, it's historic, and we saw many of the top teams struggle to finish in the top 8. Bayern, for example, your former team, had to go through a playoff, and it was tough against Celtic. Is this format more competitive? Is it tougher for the big teams, you think?
Eu acredito que sim. Eu acredito que ficou mais interessante esse formato novo da Champions. Todas as equipes têm chance de qualificarem, tanto que até o Bayern de Munique e Real Madrid tiveram que ir para o playoff para seguirem na fase.
Giovanni thinks, yeah, definitely it's tougher, it's more interesting, and we saw that by some of the big teams like Bayern and Real Madrid having to go through the playoffs. You have so much history in this competition. You won it in 2001. Tell us about that magical season for Bayern.
É um sonho conquistar a Copa dos Campeões, é um sonho quando você joga para uma equipe como o Bayern de Munique. Você trabalha duro para tentar chegar a uma final, e eu tive a sorte de chegar em 2001 e conquistar a Champions.
Giovanni said it was a dream. So much work went into this season, and you worked so hard during your career, and he was managed to make that dream come true in 2001. Last question for you. Of course, Munich will receive the final, a city you know well. What clubs are looking good for you?
Claro, no momento eu vejo 3 equipes que estão acima das outras. Uma é Liverpool, Barcelona e Real Madrid. Eu acho que essas são as 3 equipes que poderão estar em Munique na final.
Okay, Giovanni's bet is for Liverpool, Barcelona and Real Madrid as the 3 favorites. Let's see what happens. Giovanni, você vai ajudar aqui o Giorgio. 1 minuto. We're going to commence the draw shortly. But before we do so, let me remind you that the calendar for the round of 16 matches will be available later tonight. The quarterfinals match schedule will be communicated on the 13th of March after the return legs of the round of 16, while the semifinals match schedule will be communicated on April 17th following the quarterfinals. I got that right?
Perfect.
Okay, great. Before handing the floor over to you, Giorgio, let's take a look at a short video explaining how today's draw will work.
The fixtures for the round of 16 and onwards are determined using a seeded bracket system that already started at the knockout phase playoff round. In the round of 16 draw, the teams finishing the league phase in positions 1 to 8 who qualified directly to this round will be drawn into the bracket against the winners of the knockout phase playoff matches. The draw will be conducted in accordance with the following principles. The teams directly qualified to the round of 16 are seeded and are paired according to their league phase rankings. So the teams in positions 1 and 2 are paired, teams in positions 3 and 4, and so on. The teams from each pairing are then drawn into one of the 2 pre-assigned positions in the bracket. One on the silver side, one on the blue side against the relevant winner of the corresponding knockout phase playoff match. In principle, the seeded clubs play the return leg matches at home. To determine the matches, 4 bowls are prepared for the draw, with the balls containing the names of each pair of seeded teams placed in the corresponding marked bowls. Starting with the pairing of teams from positions 7 and 8 of the league phase, one ball is drawn to reveal the team. The first team drawn is allocated to the reserved spot on the silver side of the bracket. The other team is drawn and then allocated in the corresponding reserved spot on the blue side. The same procedure is carried out with the remaining teams to complete the pairings for the round of 16. For the quarterfinals and semi-finals, the winners of the previous rounds directly follow the path of the bracket to make up the pairings for those rounds. And it is necessary only to determine the order of the matches, so which qualified team would play the first leg of the round at home and which the return leg. For this purpose, a draw is conducted for each round. For the quarterfinals, 4 bowls are prepared, each containing papers representing the winners of a round of 16 match from winners of round of 16 pairing 1 and winners of round of 16 pairing 2 in the first bowl, 2 winners of round of 16 pairing 7 and winners of round of 16 pairing 8 in the fourth bowl. The draw is conducted by drawing the 2 balls from each bowl one at a time. The first ball drawn from each bowl represents the team that will play the first leg match of the quarter-final at home, and the second ball, the team that will play the return leg fixture at home. For the semi-finals, the procedure is the same, with 2 bowls prepared with winners of quarter-final pairing 1 and winners of quarter-final pairing 2 in one bowl, and winners of quarter-final pairing 3 and pairing 4 in the other. The draw again sees the 2 balls from one bowl drawn one at a time, with the first team drawn representing the team that will play the first leg of the semi-final at home, and the second team, the one that will host the return leg. As the teams were randomly designated to one side or the other of the bracket by virtue of the knockout phase playoffs or round of 16 draw, no draw is needed for the final. The winner of the semi-final on the silver side of the bracket will be designated as the nominal home team for the final. After the draw, if it becomes apparent that any ties are affected by city or stadium clashes, these clashes will be resolved in accordance with the principles set by the Club Competitions Committee for City and Stadium Clashes. The round of 16 match schedule will be available tonight.
Well, I hope that the procedure is clear, so you can see the bowls for today's draw, and the bowls containing the pairs of the seeded teams are all here on this side. So the first team drawn of each pair will join the silver part of the bracket, the one to the left, while the second will be paired with the opponent waiting in the blue part. Now, before we begin the draw, a final reminder of the clubs which are being drawn in a few moments. Liverpool FC, FC Barcelona, Arsenal FC, FC Internazionale Milano, Atletico de Madrid, Bayern 04 Leverkusen, LOSC Lille and Aston Villa. So that's all. We are ready, and friend Giovanni and Ambassador Giovanni is ready, I guess. So we go with the first pair, which is the pair of teams ranked 7 and 8 after the end of the league phase. First team drawn.
Aston Villa FC.
So Aston Villa FC will join the silver part and will find Bruges there. They met already in the league phase in Bruges, and Aston Villa has an interesting record. So the first time a player of one team scored 2 goals in the first 5 minutes of a match. This happened to Aston Villa. The player was Morgan Rogers, and the match day was match day 8. So it's quite interesting to know, and we can go now with the second team in this pair, whose name is known. Well, we want to see it.
LOSC Lille.
And that's Lille. So Lille will travel the first leg of the tie to Dortmund. The only previous meeting of these two teams was in 2001-2002 in the fourth round of the UEFA Cup. So with the first two ties being drawn, now we can move on and draw. Now we go to positions 5 and 6, which concern Atletico Madrid and Leverkusen.
Atlético de Madrid.
So Atlético de Madrid drawn to the silver part means that we will see again in this competition a Madrid derby between Real and Atlético. You certainly remember the precedents. This team have played 10 previous matches in our competition, and 2 finals in 2014 and 2016. So Real Madrid Atlético is the first tie drawn in this pairing, and we can expect another derby now.
Bayer 04 Leverkusen.
Of course. Bayern Munich versus Leverkusen, German derby. The first time these two teams that know each other very well in the Bundesliga, but it's the first time they can meet also in Europe. And Leverkusen, they were finalists last year in another competition, the Europa League. So they will face Bayern now. And we go ahead, pairing 3 and pairing 4. Now, Arsenal or Inter versus 2 Dutch teams. First team drawn.
Arsenal FC.
First team drawn is Arsenal FC going to face PSV Eindhoven. Arsenal were unbeaten in the last 15 UEFA competition matches at home, and they won all the 4 home matches this year without conceding a single goal. They have the second best defensive score in the league phase. And for Feyenoord,
FC Internazionale Milano.
we have, of course, Inter, which doesn't see Feyenoord since quite a long time ago. There was a semi-final of the UEFA Cup in 2002. Inter has the best defensive score because they conceded only 1 goal and 7 clean sheets in league phase. So only 2 pairings now to be determined, and they concern the 2 top teams of the league phase, Liverpool and Barcelona. First team to go the silver part.
Liverpool FC.
So, Paris Saint-Germain versus Liverpool FC. The only time they met in the knockout phase was in 96-97, and by the time that was the Cup Winners' Cup, so the Liverpool, the first team to secure the qualification from the league phase. It happened already in matchday 5. Now, Giovanni, only 1 team, and then we've seen everything. After Paris Saint-Germain versus Liverpool, we have now
FC Barcelona.
Barcelona joining Benfica in the blue part. They played a pyrotechnic match. We all remember that on matchday 7, 5-4 was the result. Incredible match under the pouring rain in Lisbon. And now there will be another opportunity for the 2 teams to play each other. We have concluded the pairings of the round of 16, and we are ready to go ahead to draw this time not the matches, but the order of the matches that we have in the quarterfinals. So the first quarterfinal winner, the round of 16 winner drawn, will play the first leg at home. And we start with the first quarterfinal, which is the one concerning the winners of round of 16. Number 1 and 2. So Paris Saint-Germain Liverpool and Bruges Aston Villa.
Winner 1.
Winner of match 1. So Paris Saint-Germain or Liverpool will host the first leg of the quarterfinals against the winners of
Winner 2.
Winner 2, Bruges or Aston Villa playing the return leg at home. We move on and we go now to quarterfinal 2. This concerns the 2 derbies, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, and PSV, Arsenal. It's not the 2 derbies.
Winner 4.
Winners 4. So PSV or Arsenal will play the first leg at home against the winners of the other tie of the round of 16,
Winner 3.
Winner 3, Real Madrid or Atletico de Madrid will play at home in the return leg. Quarterfinal 3. Benfica Barcelona and Borussia Dortmund Lille.
Winner 5.
Winner 5, this means Benfica or Barcelona, first leg at home.
Winner 6.
Versus the winners between Borussia Dortmund and Lille. And only one quarterfinal now. To know in which order the matches will be played, Bayern Munich or Leverkusen and Feyenoord or Inter.
Winner 7.
Winners of match 7, so one of the two German sides, Bayern or Leverkusen, playing first leg at home.
Winner 8.
And when Feyenoord or Inter playing the return leg at home. Now, one step is still needed for the semi-finals, the same procedure as applied for the quarter-final draw, purely to determine the home-away order of the semi-final matches. So for the final, as the video explained, the winner of the semi-final on the silver side, so semi-final 1, is designated as the nominal home team for the final, obviously purely for operational purposes, and the teams will be treated equally. So we start with the order of semi-final 1.
Winner 2.
Winners of quarter-final 2 will be at home, so one between PSV Arsenal, Real Madrid, Atletico, at home in the first leg of the tie, against the winners.
Winner 1.
Of quarter-final 1, so Paris Saint-Germain or Liverpool or Bruges or Aston Villa. Last draw of the day concerns semi-final 2.
Winner 3.
Winner 3. So winner 3 is one coming from Benfica, Barcelona, Borussia Dortmund or Lille. And the last ball for today.
Winner 4.
Winner of quarter-final 4, Bayern Munich, Leverkusen, Feyenoord or Inter, playing away the first leg. So this is all. This is the pathway and the road to Munich for the final of the 31st of May. Pedro, it's back to you.
Great work, gentlemen. Let's have a look at the results then, going through the lineup. PSV taking on Arsenal will be a Derby de Madrid between Real and Atleti. Paris Saint-Germain taking on Liverpool, and Club Bruges facing Aston Villa. On the other side of the bracket, it's Benfica versus Barcelona, Borussia Dortmund taking on Lille, Bayern Munich against Leverkusen, and Feyenoord versus Inter. That is the pathway set for the final in Munich, as Giorgio said. So all the clubs know what's ahead of them. Before we sign off, it's time to mark your calendars. The date for the round of 16 first leg matches is the 4th of March and 5th, and the return legs are scheduled for the 11th and 12th of March as well. That'll do it for all of us here at the House of European Football in Nyon. From Giovanni, Giorgio, and myself.